Hi there, it's Olga. I hope you're having a great day. The card I am presenting today is actually a little still life in earthy tones. To create this card, I have used some dies from Wine Country collection by Stacy Karen. Here are the names of those dies. Wine Charms, Frame Charms, A2 Mating Basics A, and I have also used the set called Barrel of Sentiments for the inside of the card. I'm starting by creating a frame for the card out of Nina Desert Storm cardstock, and I have used the two largest die from A2 Mating Basics set. I have also trimmed down a sheet of self-adhesive cork to the size of my frame using a paper trimmer. To create a rustic woodboard table, I'm going to use some wooden coffee stir sticks. 7 of them will be just enough for this size of the card. I'm trimming each stick to the size of the card using heavy-duty scissors. Then I am applying some liquid glue and sticking them all next to each other at the very bottom of the card. The glue I'm using is Tacky Glue by Scotch. You can totally use multimedia matte. I just found this one to be a bit more quick drying. So now when all the boards are stuck down, I'm placing my frame on top of the card wrong side up, and I'm marking spots where the boards end. Then I'm going to apply some mounting tape to the frame above the wooden boards. Because those wooden boards or sticks have a lot of dimension, I have to combine mounting tape with a liquid adhesive on the frame to be able to level up the thickness. Then I am peeling off the liner from the mounting tape and applying some liquid glue to the remaining areas, and then I'm sticking the frame onto the card. I'm making sure I'm lining it up really well with the edges, and then I'm ready to attach it to the card base. Because the cork sheet is self-adhesive, I just have to peel off the backing, and then I'm centering this panel on my card base, which is standard size 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Now I'm ready to fill in this frame with some die-cut elements. I'm going to use magnetic platform for more convenience. I'll be using this bottle and a lump of cheese from Wine Charms die set. I'm also gonna need this little grape and a couple of leaves from another set called Frame Charms. There's a little trick I'm going to use for die cutting. I'm going to place a piece of craft foam underneath my cardstock. The thing is, those dies have some debossed details, and if you are using thick cardstock like 140 pounds or more, you will automatically get nice deep debossing. Because Nina Desert Storm is a bit thinner, you might not get as nice debossing as you would like to, but with a piece of foam, everything turns out just perfect. Then I'm going to apply Walnut Stain Distress ink all over the outlines of the die cuts. This is the only ink I'm going to use because I'm going to keep this card quite monochromatic. I have also die cut this bottle out of thick craft cardstock as well as out of brown cardstock. I'm trimming down both pieces with the scissors to only leave that bottom part of the bottle. Now I'm going to glue down both pieces on top of the bottle, and as you see, I only need that craft one for some added dimension. I have also die cut the top part of the bottle out of cork to be able to add a real cork to my bottle. I have die cut the bottle one more time out of dark brown paper to be able to add it underneath the previous layers. As I'm doing it, I'm shifting the top layer a little bit, and that will create a dark outline that looks a lot like a drop shadow. This way the images will be standing out more against the background. Then with a sharp needle tool I'm going to pierce a hole in the bottle. I'm wrapping a piece of jute twine around the bottle, crossing the ends of the twine above the hole, and then I'm setting up a braid so that it will pierce through both ends of the rope. Then I'm trimming off all the extra. The bottle was the hardest to create. For the rest of the images I'm just gonna go with the inking and attaching the drop shadows. I just love how this lump of cheese looks with the shadow layer attached, because it creates a little drop shadow inside each of the holes. There is one more element that I would like to add to my little still life, and that is the clock. I'm going to use the round frame from Frame Charms die set. I have already die cut and embossed it, but before releasing the die cut from the die, I'm going to add some stenciling. I'm using Distress Oxide ink, the color is Antique Linen. Now I have both color and texture added to that frame. I am adding one more bottom layer of cardstock to that frame to give it a bit more dimension. To create a dial, I have cut out a circle to go behind the frame, and I'm going to add a sticker with a clock image to it. You can also find a matching image from the pattern paper or in the magazine, or you can just draw 12 dots in a circle. Then I'm attaching the dial behind the frame and the clock is finished. Now I'm going to attach all the images to the card, and I'm starting with a bottle. Again, I'm combining mounting tape with a liquid adhesive to level everything up. I'm having it attached at the right side of my card. Then I'm going to stick down the cheese using some foam squares. Basically, I'm moving from the largest elements to the smallest ones. I'm attaching the clock with the mounting tape, and I'm adding a few dots of glue just in case the tape would not want to stick to the cork. As a finishing touch, I would like to add some wood veneer stars. I'm just scattering them randomly all around the card. At this point, I decided that the dark frame would look a bit more dramatic and expressive, so I have die cut it out of dark brown cardstock, and I'm simply sticking it on top of the previous lighter one. I have also decided to add a sentiment on the inside of the card. Because my card is featuring a clock, I will be going with a sentiment that goes, "Is it wine o'clock yet?" There is also a pretty frame that matches the sentiment, and by the way, the die set is called Barrel of Sentiments. I'm stamping a sentiment onto a piece of brown cardstock, and then I'm going to gold emboss it. After it's heat set, I'm placing the frame on top, and I'm going to both die cut and emboss it. The label has both embossed and debossed details, and to enhance them even more, I'm going to use metallic rub-on paint. I'm applying the paint around the label with my finger, and you can see the gorgeous shine and dimension it adds. It looks the best on dark papers. I'm attaching the label inside the card, and you see that there is still plenty of space left to write the message below the label. I think this card would also work great as an invitation. The sentiment matches perfectly. You could also kind of set up the clock on the front of the card to the time of your party. So that was the tutorial for today. I really hope you enjoyed and had fun. Until the next time, bye!